Thank you for tuning in to the latest edition of the 12 Kyle podcast. Whether you're listening during your commute, while working out, or just relaxing at home, we appreciate you. Every download, every listen, and every subscription means a lot. Up next, the 12 Kyle podcast.
Probably a couple of rule of thumbs when it comes to eating at strip clubs. Mm-hmm. Some I would never eat at. Like, some I would never eat. The Dewdrop is one. Never.
Did they have food at the
Dewdrop? Did they have food? I would say the same thing. Yeah. They have food. They have, they try to do a little something in there. And I think you kind of know the spots. Now, the gentleman clubs, like the higher end kind of gentleman clubs, their food is actually not bad. So it depends on like the level of club if you go to a hole in the wall, I wouldn't suggest eating. But if you go to some of the more higher end clubs, like the private gentleman club type exclusive things, they do have very good food. And sometimes it's not even about the naked women. Like it's about, you know what I mean? It's about the environment and, the food. So, yeah, I say you can, but I don't think you can at every one. So I make a distinction. Some of them is strictly just go in there and throw dollars, and it's not, if you get you a drink, make sure you wipe the top of your Heineken off. Definitely don't just grab and start sucking down your Heineken without a quick little one-off on the top. You know what I'm saying? Gotta definitely hit the top off. But, yeah, man, you can eat at some, but not at all.
Gotcha.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. Thank you for downloading. And thank you for subscribing to the latest edition of the 12 Kyle podcast. I am your boy, 12 Kyle. I want to thank you all for tuning in and watching on YouTube as well as Spotify. Man, check this out. What you just heard was a clip from an old episode of the 12 Kyle podcast. Shout out to my homies, Derek and Ezel. And that episode, we were talking about the shoe show, aka strip clubs. Now, we don't really call it strip clubs because technically they're not stripping. The ladies are there to show off their shoes. So we call it the shoe show. But anyway, that particular episode was downright hilarious. And I went back and I was listening to that episode because I can't remember what I was trying to find in the episode, but in listening to the episode, it actually spawned, the idea for this particular episode. And that's, whether or not you should or shouldn't eat at the shoe show. Some people eat at the shoe show. I will be honest, I have never eaten anything at the shoe show. Although I will say this much. There are places that, that you can eat. And that's what I want to talk about on this comical episode of the 12 Kyle podcast. You heard Ezel talking about whether or not you should or you shouldn't. Because I mentioned on that episode, like, I wasn't a fan of, there was a point in time where when I would go to the shoe show, I would get my drink and that was it. And if you came over to dance, I was going to try to finish that drink before you started dancing. And, obviously it's a level of preference, if you will. As many of you know, or maybe you don't know, I live here in the city of Atlanta. What some might call the strip club capital of America. Again, the shoe show, the shoe show capital of America, particularly black shoe shows. Because here's the thing, the shoe shows here are incredible no matter where you go. I'll be honest, and I mentioned that on the episode, I don't go as much as I used to. And I was never one who, I'd go maybe 2 or 3 times a year. And now that's probably down to like 1 or 2 times a year. I don't think I've been to a shoe show probably since COVID. It's been a couple of years. It's always interesting because, like, hanging out here, I've done it enough to where it's not the go-to. And so when I have people come in town sometimes, and I'll never forget my homeboy Nalon came in town, and he's like, man, man, we trying to hang out tonight, man. What you want to get into? And I was like, whatever, we can do dinner, man. We can go kick it somewhere. It's like, nah, man, I ain't trying to go do no dinner. And I was like, okay. I was like, you want to hit a club? I mean, this was during the clubbing. This probably about 10 years ago. And he was like, man, I ain't bring no clothes for no club, man. I was like, so dog, what you want to do? He thought about it for a second. He's like, we can go to strip club. And I was like, dude, you should have said that from the beginning. That's where you went. Honestly, that's where he wanted to go anyway. So we went to the shoe show. We went to Body Tap. And we were, when we got there, we saw none other than Adam Pac-Man Jones. And this is when Pac-Man Jones was in the league. And I told him, we ain't going to be here long because Pac-Man is here. And trouble was kind of finding Pac-Man in the shoe show. So, but that was a good time. But yeah, I don't go that often, but I wanted to get on and talk on this episode about, if you're in Atlanta and you want to go to the shoe show, and you want to get something to eat, there are a couple of places that you may want to check out. Before I forget, let me also shout out the homie, Danny Foxworth. Danny's been on the podcast several times. He's got 3 dope podcasts of his own. I remember Danny, one of the first times he reached out to me, he said that was one of the first episodes he heard of mine. And it actually kind of inspired him to start his podcast. So shout out to Danny. But yeah, so it's, again, you come to Atlanta, you got several places you can go. I'm going to give you a couple of places. And this is just the information that I got about the food being served at these shoe shows was just, I just happened to be scrolling on Instagram one day and there was an ad, how you get these paid ads or whatever that pop up. There was a paid ad that was advertising, or maybe it wasn't an ad. It was someone who did a vlog of some of the best shoe show places to go and get food. And so I'm going to share with you what they shared with us. And then these are no particular order. If you want to get some good grub, try Club Pinups. Pinups is in, was it Decatur? Is that yeah, Decatur, where it's greater. In Pinups, they have on some nights they have the special $5 lamb chops, the $5 crab leg clusters with shrimp and potato, a basic seafood boil for $5. Now listen, if you're into seafood and you like a good seafood boil, that's where you got the egg, you got the sausage, crab clusters, sausage, corn, potatoes, all of that mixed into one. For $5, I mean, you really can't beat that. Now, when they showed the video, there was it was like buffet style, which to me is kind of weird that you have a buffet style food thing set up at the shoe show, because you want to have room for the shoe models. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to have time. You really don't have time nor the space to have a buffet set up. But I've been in pinups before, and it's a very nice sized club. So, I guess they made room for it, I guess. But yeah. If you're into seafood, if that's your move, definitely check out Club Pinups in Decatur. Number 2, the world famous Strokers. Strokers is in, was that Clarkson Tucker? Right outside the perimeter, in Metro Atlanta. It's in Clarkston. Strokers literally is probably about 10 minutes from my house, I guess. It's not far at all. They have a loaded potato that, according to some, is quote unquote to die for. A loaded baked potato is cool. I'm cool with loaded baked potatoes. I don't necessarily know if I want a loaded baked potato at the shoe show, but I mean, they said it is dope. So I mean, you may want to try it. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of all the stuff that you put in a loaded baked potato. You put it in a loaded baked potato. Uh, do you really want someone twerking over your loaded baked potato? Hey, I'm just asking the questions here. Um, Number 3, Club Seduction. I think Club Seduction's in the city. I've never been there before, but they have some really, really good fried chicken wings. And the wing, not lemon pepper wings, not barbecue, not hot wings, some really great fried chicken wings. Now, here's the thing: in Atlanta, we do chicken. We do chicken, we do wings, we do it very well. In fact, you'd be hard pressed to find some place in the city or outside of the city that doesn't have good chicken. Um, that being said, people can mess up chicken. But they say, seduction has the best spot for fried chicken wings. Um, I mentioned on that episode that I spoke of earlier, and it's worth repeating. Um, when I went to I went to Magic City. In fact, I didn't even go in Magic City. There was a food, like a, for lack of a better terms, like it wasn't even a food truck. It was a food stand right outside of this, probably about 15 years ago, right outside of Magic City, in Magic City's parking lot. Now, I don't know if they took the business inside and put it inside Magic City, because Magic City has some great wings, allegedly. I've never had them. The couple of times I've been to Magic City, I didn't need anything. Um, but the place where this little hut, if you will, that they had outside of Magic City, and again, this is like 15 years ago. These were the best wings I've ever had in my life. No lie. Right outside of Magic City, lemon pepper wings. Magic City, again, is known for their um, lemon pepper wings. Shout out to Lou Williams, Lemon Pepper Lou. Uh, I I keep telling myself, like, I'm gonna go to Magic City and not even go inside. I'm just going. Not, I mean, I can go inside, but I want to go and just try those wings, because I keep hearing about them, and I think those wings go for like $25, $30. So if you selling some $30 wings, they gotta be slamming. I mean, like, you can't half step on no 30. If I'm paying 30, if I'm paying 30 beans for some for some wings, they better be good enough for you to slap your mama. Um, but you know what? Right now it's time for a quick commercial break. We'll take a break. On the other side, I'll give you a few more shoe show spots that you could check out for some great shoe show cuisine. Sit tight. We'll be back in just a second. And just like that, we are back. Once again, it's your boy 12 Kyle. This is the 12 Kyle podcast, and we're talking about shoe show cuisine. If you're ever in the A and you want to get something to eat, you want to see some young ladies modeling some shoes, these are the places that you want to go, and these are the dishes that you should get. Before we went to the break, I told you about pinups. I told you about strokers. I told you about seduction. Um, Now let's take it to the west side. Bankhead Highway, that area. Um, the legendary Blue Flame. Now I'll be honest, I've never been. Blue Flame is probably the one of the premier shoe show spots that I've never been to. I don't really have a great answer for why I haven't been to Blue Flame, especially given the fact that I've been living here since 1997. The Flame, I'll be honest, part of the problem with the Flame is that it's on the other side of the city from where I live. It's on the west side. I live on the east side. And like, if you were out, if you had a drink or two, I don't drink anymore, but like, if you had a drink or two, then you ain't really trying to drive all the way back over to the east side. It's just, and I'll be honest, because it's, in Bankhead, you want to make sure that you're, on your P's and Q's, you know what I mean? Like, the Blue Flame ain't gonna be no trouble in the club. Ain't gonna be no trouble out the club if you handle yourself accordingly. But sometimes, people come to the Blue Flame and they don't abide by the rules and they think like, because you're from Brooklyn that people supposed to care. Listen, nobody cares that you're from Brooklyn. I'm, I'm gonna tell you that right now because JoJo from Bankhead Highway, he don't care nothing about you nor no Brooklyn. Um, he'll be respectful, but you gotta be respectful as well. But anyway, um, the Blue Flame has, from what I've been told, a slamming mac and cheese stuffed salmon. I don't know about that. Now, here's the thing. I'm a huge fan of salmon. I love salmon. I don't necessarily need mac and cheese stuffed into my salmon, but streets say that this is the joint, like it's bussing, as the kids say. Um, I don't know about that. I'm a fan of mac and cheese. I'm a big fan of salmon. I eat salmon at least once a week. But nah, I don't need you stuffing those salmon I don't need you stuffing mac and cheese in the salmon. Put the mac and cheese on the side, put the salmon right here in the middle. I'm good. But, Blue Flame, legendary shoe show establishment, you're going to get an eye full. You're going to spend a few dollars. You're going to have a good time. I don't know anybody, no matter how hood the area is around the Blue Flame, I've never heard anybody tell me that they've gone to the Flame and not had a good time. So that in and of itself should tell you all that you need to know. Flame is a good time. And according to, reports, we've heard that, the Flame has some stuffed mac and cheese you stuff it in your salmon and you're good to go. Next up, the aforementioned Magic City. They have honey and garlic lobster tails that are incredible. I had a homie he probably went maybe a couple of months ago. He told me it was crazy. He said the food was as bad as the women. And I don't mean bad meaning bad, but bad meaning good. Shout out to Run DMC. So yeah, Magic City, you're gonna get those wings. You're gonna get those lemon pepper, Lou Williams wings. But the honey garlic and the honey and garlic lobster tails are crazy. Not that expensive either. So, you're gonna spend a little bit of money, so don't worry about that, but the food is gonna be worth it. What else? Oh, last but not least, KOD in the city. They have a buffet. Again, I don't me trying it's still kind of bugged out for me to kind of wrap that around my head that you would have a buffet but they have rice, mac and cheese, yams, collard greens, fish. They have a spread. From what I'm told, the spread is crazy. KOD is another pop-in shoe show establishment. You definitely want to check it out. Again, I'm not a fan of buffet foods, period. But like when you say buffet, like the first thing comes to my mind is like Golden Corral. I don't know if there's Golden Corrals where you got like the Sizzler or something. I don't know, but I mean like I don't necessarily want that, you twerk juice in the air. Nah, man, we ain't doing that. But again, I've been told that it's great. So again, check it out for yourself. KOD is a big joint and you'll go in there and have a good time. Trust me. I've never been, but it's on the list for me to go. First up is Blue Flame and then KOD. In conclusion, man, I say it all the time. I've said it on every episode and it's worth repeating and I'll say it again. Should you come to Atlanta, hit me up. Shoot me a DM, shoot me a text message, call me, however you want to get it, shoot me a tweet, whatever. Hit me up, let me know you're coming in the city. I will meet you somewhere and we'll hit the shoe show together. I mean, listen, I can go. I can go and I can go have a good time. I'm not one of those married guys who don't go to the shoe show and have to sneak out. I mean, like my woman will know where I'm at, and she knows I ain't gonna spend no money no way. So, because Hey, what? I ain't trying to bring nobody home. We've actually gone to shoe shows together. So, um, and had a great time. So it's all good and it's all love. But yeah, the ladies are gonna take care of you. You're gonna have a good time. You're gonna spend a little bit of money. You can drink something, and according to reports, you can eat and eat very well and enjoy yourself. And you know, like I said, if you hit me up in time, now here's the thing, fellas, ladies, don't come to Atlanta and plan to go to the shoe show on Saturday night, and you call and you reach out to me on Friday. Cause I got plans. I have a rule. Like if you don't hit me up by Wednesday, trust me, whatever my weekend's plans are, I'm doing it. And even if the weekend just consists of me sitting around watching football, that's what it is. Um, but yeah, if you hit me up, I'll definitely come out and meet you. I'll, pretend that, being particular about where we go, that's cool. I mean, wherever you want to go. Hell, I'll buy you an entree if you're cool enough. Um, but yeah, I want everybody to and just remember, folks, again, it's not the strip club. It's the shoe show. These young ladies, they're trying to get themselves through college, and they're there to model shoes. They just don't have any clothes on because the focus is totally on the shoes, right? That's where the number one focus is. We got to maintain that and make sure that we keep that in mind. Um, but yeah, we'll go to the shoe show and we'll have a good time. And according to reports, we should eat because that's what people at the shoe show do. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for me. Thanks again for checking out this edition of the 12 Kyle podcast. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast. We drop new episodes weekly. Also, if you'd like to contribute to the podcast financially, hit us up on Cash App, $TWELVEKYLE. Also, we have merch. Click the link in the description box that's labeled merch. There you can find 12 Kyle podcast t-shirts, hoodies, as well as coffee mugs. We got it for the low. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for me. Thanks again for checking out this edition of the 12 Kyle podcast. I am your boy 12 Kyle. I will catch you guys next time. 5,000. Chill.
Thanks again for listening to this episode of the 12 Kyle podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure that you hit the subscribe button and share this podcast with a friend who needs the 12 Kyle podcast in their life. Every listen, every download, and every share helps us grow. Thanks for being a part of the 12 Kyle podcast community. We appreciate your support. We will catch you next time. 5,000.